everyone, I popped on to do the prompt for Junk Journal July UK Day 6, which is fold out, and I am the host of this prompt. My name's next to this prompt on the list, yeah. So fold out. Fold out can mean more than one thing though, can't it? So it's up to you really what you think a fold out would be, because I'm going to show you a few different ones that I do. I love this piece of paper and I want to use it, but it needs to be, for what I want to use it for, it needs to be a square. So to make it a square, you fold it like this, make sure your corner is on a point, and then you trim off this bit here. Like so. So get your square of paper and you need to fold it in half, first that way and then again that way on both sides, so you've got 4 squares, and then you need to fold it again crossways, so like this, like so, and then what you do, you fold it like this, fold your crossway corner in like that, and do the same on that side, fold it inwards. See how I did that? And what you're left with is a little corner like that that you can stick onto the corner of your page, and then you can open it out and write on it, and it's a bit of a hidden writing spot then. So that's one type of fold out you can do. You could also just pop it onto your page with a paper clip. You don't have to glue it down. So for this one, I'll glue it down just here, and then I could open it up, write on it. You could even glue it down and use it as a tuck spot if you wanted to, but yeah, that's how I would use that. Then the next one, which is also not very complicated, is a piece of paper, and it can be any size, anything that matches your journal. You get your piece of paper, you fold it up into 4. I folded that into 4, and that looks just like a normal journaling card, but when you fold it open, you've got nearly an A4 piece of paper that you can write on, you can journal on. And then that I would just either pop into a pocket, or I would add to a page with a paper clip, and I've added a little bee onto this paper clip. I just used a pin to put it on, because if I'd actually put it straight onto the paper clip it wouldn't lay flat. So yeah, I've pinned it on with a pin, and then I can clip that onto that page there. So that's 2 types of fold out. So the next one would be a standalone fold out you could have. So you'd get your pieces of paper that you're going to use. I've got several bits of paper here that I could use for my fold outs. I'm going to show you this one first. So let's move these out of the way again. So this one, I didn't cut these 2 in half because I knew I was going to use them as some kind of fold out. So now I want to add this to it so that I've got a 3-fold thing, a 3-fold fold out if you like. And the way I do it is I use clear sellotape because it doesn't spoil the picture. Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter on the inside so much, but on the outside I use clear sellotape so that it doesn't spoil the picture. So that's that one done, and then you can even have these in different shapes. You could have a shaped top, like a tag top shape, or you could round the tops, you could round the corners. I could round the corners of this one anyway, but I've got it taped on both sides with clear tape, and that will, I've not had any problems with it coming off or anything like that. It's always worked really well, and it's my chosen way of doing it. So now I've got a 3-way fold out, see, so I can fold that into there like that, and then that over the top, I could tie a bit of string around it. I've got some string. Let's tie a bit of string around it for a closure. Love the clover, I do. Love the clover. I think it's clover anyway, that's what I'm calling it. It probably isn't clover, if I'm honest. But I love the colour of that flower, and yeah, it's really pretty. And then you could tie a bit of string. I'm using string because it's more neutral and natural looking for the herbology journal, and that's what I'm going for, neutral and natural. And then you've got a little fold out there, tri-fold. And as I say, another thing you could do is you could cut the top into a tag shape, you could round it, you could round all your corners. And another thing as well is, if you wanted to, you could add pockets inside, make it into a folio, but we're not doing folios today, we're doing fold out. So another thing you could do is add little pockets onto the bottom and turn your fold out into a folio, but today it's just a fold out, and that is just for writing on. And you can then, you could actually glue the back part to the page and then open it out and write on it, and then just close it again like that. Glue your string on as well, or you can just clip it to your page with a paper clip. You can clip it to the side of your page, it doesn't have to be to the top. You could pop it in a pocket. Yeah, lots of things you can do with that, and it can be done in any size really, as long as it fits on your page and in your page. It can be done in any size. So that, I mean, I think that looks lovely just for a little fold out, and it gives you a really nice space for writing on. So that's that one. Pop that one there a minute. And then the last one I'm going to add to my page. So what I did when I was cutting these out, I left some white border on some of them like this, because I didn't know whether I wanted to have my fold out come like that or like that, and as it turns out I want it like that, so I don't need that white edge there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold over my piece of paper, and there's my white edge, and what I can do is I can glue that onto the page, and I can cut that off first, can't I? Let's get a different pair of scissors. So let's cut off this white edge that I don't now need. And it looks like a picture on the page, but actually it is a fold out. See? So if I put glue on here, there we go, and now I've got the base for my fold out. And what I could do is, and as I say, I could have done it either side because I did leave the thing for either side. I could pop some paper in here, I could sew it in and make it a little notebook, so that when you opened it up you've got your notebook to write on. I could add some more pieces of paper to it, so for instance I could use my sellotape and tape this piece of paper to it like that and fold that in. Let's do that to show you how I mean. When you've got a kit like this and you're thinking, oh, I really like that page, I don't want to use it, remember you can just print it off again. You can use the same page twice, it doesn't matter. So we'll do that, and we'll tape that into place with the clear tape, as I say, because it doesn't, you don't lose your picture then. And don't worry if you've got a wide fold, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you tape both sides, otherwise you'll end up with a very sticky fold. guess for the length, wasn't it? That was very lucky. And then we can fold that in like that, and as you can see it's a little bit too wide to fold in now, so what I need to do is trim a little bit off this edge, only a little bit. Like so, and then that can go in there like that, and then in there like that. Another thing, and you can carry on adding flips and flaps like that for as long as you like. Collage fodder. You could add a little pocket. I've got a pocket here, look. You could hide a pocket inside here by gluing that pocket down there like that, and then you could put all sorts of smaller pieces of paper that won't show. You see I've done that one like that, look. I could even glue that one on there now like that. Should we do that? Let's fold that over. We'll give it a try. I'm not actually going to glue it down till I've tried it out. And I need to cut the white off on this side. We don't want it to show. So I could, if I glued that down there like that, that would go there like that. Yeah, it's the right size, look. Then that would go over like that. Honestly, you can glue things and stick things any way you want on your fold out, as long as it fits. See, now that wouldn't fit if I had it sticking out like that. It would look funny. It would have to be not sticking out, wouldn't it? So if I glue it there like that instead, it's a good job I checked, isn't it? And then what we have is that, and that, and that. Yeah, so let's put some, we'll put the glue on here. We'll make it this glue so that it's got a little bit of a minute to move before we get it where we want it. It has to be in the right place. And then we want that over there like that, and that over there like that, and this needs to go into there like that. There we go. So that's that. So we've got a flip out there and a flip out there. You can write on here, on here, and on here. You can put your pocket in there like that if you want to, and you can put inside your pocket this piece. You could put that fold out in there. You could put some smaller, these are a bit big to go in it really, but you could put some smaller journaling cards or tags in there. Yeah, if you wanted to put a pocket, you don't have to. Another thing you could do is tape a piece of paper to there, and then that would flap up. You could do the same at the top so that it would flap down. So that's 4 ideas for fold outs that you can add to your journal. I hope that's given you some inspiration, and I hope you'll go off and try some of these, what I think are fairly easy fold outs. So I'm going to fold mine back up now. And remember, if you wanted to, you could have that one on the top instead of that one. If you fancied a lemon tea day instead of a whatever tea that one is, I'm not sure. Yeah, the herbal teas. Anyway, you could have that one as your opening bit. You could put a notebook in this side. Yeah, it's you can go mad with it. So that was my video for fold out. I hope you enjoyed that and got some inspiration from it. Do pop over to Lindsey's channel to see her take on this prompt, and do pop over to Sandra at Be Happy Stationery. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.